Hello everyone, this is Joshua Smith of Apollo's Artifacts. It is summer 2018, and since I think that there are no topics that are too controversial to discuss, I'm going to jump in with both feet and we're going to talk about abortion. We're going to review some abortion statistics. I'm not really going to tell you where I come down on the subject, just going to do a sort of flat reading of the data. Now, these statistics are arrived at through, an analysis of the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, and from the Guttmacher Institute, also known as the AGI. And I will, as usual, link all of the source data below so that you can check these things out for yourself. Annual abortion statistics. Based on available state-level data, approximately 893,000 abortions took place in the United States in 2016, down from approximately 914,000 abortions in 2015. In 2014, an estimated 926,240 abortions took place in the United States, down from 1.06 million in 2011, 1.21 million in 2008, 1.2 million in 2005, 1.29 million in 2002, 1.31 million in 2000, and 1.36 million in 1996. From 1973 through 2011, nearly 53 million legal abortions occurred in the United States. In 2014, approximately 19% of U.S. pregnancies, excluding spontaneous miscarriages, ended in abortion. According to the United Nations 2013 report, only 9 countries in the world have a higher reported abortion rate than the United States. They are Bulgaria, Cuba, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Romania, Russia, Sweden, and Ukraine. There's a footnote here that says, though the UN lists China's official abortion rate at 19.2, China's actual abortion rate is likely much higher. According to China's 2010 census, there were approximately 310 million women of reproductive age in the country. An estimated 13 to 23 million abortions happen annually in China, resulting in an adjusted abortion rate of 41.9 to 74.2%. The abortion rate is the number of abortions per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44. In 2014, the highest percentage of pregnancies were aborted in the District of Columbia, 38%, New York, 33%, and New Jersey, 30%. The lowest percentage of pregnancies were aborted in Utah, South Dakota, and Wyoming. It is also no surprise that New York and New Jersey would be here. If you followed my 3-part presentation that I did on the most and least libertarian states, you would see New York, New Jersey, and California, which is unlisted here because California does not actually report their abortion data, but you can well imagine that it is extraordinarily high, that most definitely it would be up there with New York and New Jersey as well, where it ranks in almost every other category. In 2014, approximately 37% of all pregnancies in New York City, excluding spontaneous miscarriages, ended in abortion. The annual number of legal induced abortions in the United States doubled between 1973 and 1979 and peaked in 1990. There was a slow but steady decline through the 1990s. Overall, the number of annual abortions decreased by 6% between 2000 and 2009, with temporary spikes in 2002 and 2006. From 2013 to 14, the total number and rate of reported abortions decreased 2%. The ratio of reported abortions decreased 7%. But I'm sure that is related to both the decrease in fertility and the decrease, of course, in live birth rates among all Western nations, and specifically the United States, because of the declining sperm counts among men in the West and, of course, the United States. Under the category of who has abortions, in 2014, unmarried women accounted for 85.5% of all abortions. Among married women, 4% of pregnancies end in abortion. Among unmarried women, 27% of pregnancies end in abortion. Women in their 20s accounted for the majority of abortions in 2014 and had the highest abortion rates. Adolescents under 15 years obtained 0.03% of all 2014 abortions. Women aged 15 to 19 years accounted for 10.4%. In 2014, women who had not aborted in the past accounted for 55.1% of all abortions. Women with 1 or 2 prior abortions accounted for 36.3%, and women with 3 or more prior abortions accounted for 8.6%. Among white women, 10% of pregnancies end in abortion. Among black women, 29% of pregnancies end in abortion. Black women were more than 3.5 times more likely to have an abortion in 2014 than white women. The abortion rate of non-metropolitan women is about half that of women who live in metropolitan counties. The abortion rate of women with Medicaid coverage is 3 times as high as that of other women. In 2014, 30% of aborting women identified themselves as Protestant and 24% identified themselves as Catholic. Under the category of why do abortions occur, we have here less than 0.5% happen because a person is a victim of a rape, 3% due to fetal health problems, 4% due to physical health problems, 4% would interfere with education or career, 7% not mature enough to raise a child, 8% don't want to be a single mother, 19% done having children, 23% can't afford a baby, 25% not ready for a child, and 6% for other reasons. Under a separate section for reasons, it records here that the state of Florida takes down a reason for every abortion that occurs within the borders of its state. In 2015, there were 71,740 abortions in the state of Florida. The table below lists each reason and percentage for abortions that occurred. 0.001%, the pregnancy resulted from an incestuous relationship. 0.065%, the woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy. 0.085%, the woman was raped. 0.288%, the woman's physical health was threatened by the pregnancy. 0.294%, the woman's psychological health was threatened by the pregnancy. 0.666%, there was a serious fetal abnormality. 6.268%, the woman aborted for social or economic reasons. And 92.330%, they electively put down no reason whatsoever, just left it blank, I suppose. Under the next section of when do abortions occur, 89 to 92% of all abortions happen during the first trimester, prior to the 13th week of gestation. In 2014, 7.2% of all abortions occurred between 14 to 20 weeks gestation. 1.3% occurred above 21 weeks of gestation. Under the next section of who performs abortions, in 2011, 42% of providers offered very early abortions during the first 4 weeks of gestation, and 95% offered abortion at 8 weeks. 64% of providers offer at least some second trimester abortion services, being 13 weeks or later, and 20% offer abortion after 20 weeks. 11% of all abortion providers offered abortions past 24 weeks. Only 5% of U.S. abortions occur in hospitals. 2% occur in physicians' offices. The rest occur in freestanding abortion clinics without any established doctor-patient relationship. In the next category of abortion fatalities, between 1973 and 2012, 431 women died due to abortion complications. The number of deaths attributable to legal induced abortion was highest before the 1980s. In 1972, the year before abortion was federally legalized, a total of 24 women died from causes known to be associated with legal abortions, and 39 died as a result of known illegal abortions. Next category, the cost of abortion. In 2011 to 12, the average cost of a non-hospital abortion with local anesthesia at 10 weeks of gestation was $480. The average cost of a medication abortion up to 9 weeks was $504. Next category, abortion and contraception. Induced abortions usually result from unintended pregnancies, which often occur despite the use of contraception. In 2008, 51% of women having abortions used a contraceptive method during the month they became pregnant. 9 in 10 women at risk of unintended pregnancy are using some form of contraceptive method. Oral contraceptives, the most widely used reversible method of contraception, carry failure rates of 6 to 8%. Next category, abortion and minors. 40% of minors having an abortion report that neither of their parents knew about the abortion. 39 states currently enforce parental consent or notification laws for minors seeking an abortion. And it lists those after that. The Supreme Court ruled that minors must have the alternative of seeking a court order authorizing the procedure. Abortion and public funds, next section. The U.S. Congress has barred the use of federal Medicaid funds to pay for abortions, except when the woman's life would be endangered by full-term pregnancy or in cases of rape or incest. 17 states use public funds to pay for abortions for some poor women. About 14% of all abortions in the United States are paid for with public funds, virtually all from the state. In 2014, 88,466 abortions in California were paid for with public funds. Public funds paid for 45,722 abortions in the state of New York. And I have here a Newsweek article from 2017 entitled Legal Abortion Rates Fall to Historic Lows in the United States by Nicole Goodkind. The top line here, abortion rates in the United States have dropped to historic lows, according to a new report released by the CDC. Also have an article here from March of 2018 by Gabriel Levy, a political reporter, titled Abortion Rates, Where and Why They Are Falling. This is from U.S. News and World Report. And it begins here. The rate at which women are getting abortions has dropped across the developed world as access to effective contraception has increased, according to a new report, which also concludes that laws restricting abortions do not result in the procedure occurring less frequently, merely less safely. Abortion rates have significantly declined over the last 25 years in countries that have made contraception more easily available, according to the Guttmacher Institute report published Tuesday. Globally, from 2010 to 14, 35 abortions were performed per 1,000 women of reproductive age, down from 40 per 1,000. The decrease was driven primarily by reductions in countries with liberal abortion laws, where abortion rates dropped from 46 to 27 per 1,000 women. Conversely, developing regions, including 93% of the countries with the most restrictive abortion laws, saw only a drop of 39 to 36 abortions per 1,000 women. And they have an interesting graphical display here of the estimates of unintended pregnancy, which shows that they are highest in Latin America, in the Caribbean, and in Africa, as compared to other regions of the world. This article also has an interesting section on the safety of the issue. Further abortion procedures have been found to be very safe when conducted using World Health Organization approved guidelines. An estimated 55% of abortions from 2010 to 14 were considered safe, conducted using WHO-approved methods by a trained provider. Those that met only one of those two criteria are considered less safe and made up 31% of abortions performed. 14% of abortions met neither criteria and were considered less safe. The vast majority of the abortions in the latter two categories, 88%, took place in the developing world, where approximately half of all abortions, some 25 million procedures annually, were performed under unsafe conditions. Abortion safety has direct consequences for the women undergoing the procedure. As of 2014, the report found at least 22,800 women die each year from complications from abortions that are not considered safe. And as I said before, I will link all of these articles and this information below. I know it's a rather dry reading of material that could be interpreted in a lot of different ways, but I just wanted to show that there is a way to approach that subject that is not utterly controversial. Anyway, please give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the little bell for the notifications, and please share it around on social media. I need all the help that I can get in growing this channel. Thank you.